Well, hello, and I hope that you are having a wonderful week in this week that we have lead from Christmas and into the new year. And while I am thinking about it and this idea of new, let me take this opportunity to say that we are starting a new series in a new year as we go into a new focus for 2022. Our new series is called Jesus, very aptly named Jesus. Finding us in Him, or discovering us in Him, or realizing us in Him. Regardless of the fact, we are looking at how we are found in Him and finding our identity in Him. And Paul has a lot to say about that in the letter he wrote to the church in Philippi. And so I hope that as we go through the next 10 weeks and we look at this sermon series called Jesus, Finding Us in Him, that you will begin to get a new take on some things that maybe you've heard your entire life, but maybe now we're looking at in a different light. And we're all about sanctification. And you know that that's a huge part of my drive as a pastor is the sanctification of looking more and more and more like Him every single day and not being content with where I'm at now, but that tomorrow I look even more like Him today than I do today. And so I hope that as we celebrate new creation and who we are in Him, that this study in the book letter of Philippians will be eye-opening and encouraging, and that you won't want to miss a single week as we work our way through 4 short chapters in 10 weeks as we go all the way into March for this sermon series. And so it will be fun, it will be exciting, it will be encouraging, and all along the way we will just open our eyes to the new things that God wants for us. Along with 2022 comes a new focus, a new word. If I look at 2021 since I've been here in August, and I look back and think, what was the word that kind of captured 2021 for us in August through December? For me, and I probably would assume that for you too, if I said the word expectation, I hope that's the word that you were captured by. And for me, that's what it was. What we expected God to do, and even the things that we didn't expect Him to do, He still did. And I am still just excited about what God did in 2021, what He's going to do, what I expect Him to do in 2022 and beyond in our church. And so that air of expectation needs to be captured. But the new word, this new, call it buzzword, call it motto, call it this word that we want to capture in 2022 is the word connection. And I think it's a great word that we really need to capture. Even my staff has heard since the very beginning. When we have staff, we don't call them meetings on Tuesdays, we call them staff connections. Connection is huge. And as part of the church, connection is huge. And so I will be talking a lot about the word connection, how you are connected to Him, how you are connected to the church, how we are connected to each other, giving you different ways to be connected, not just to Him, but to each other as the church. One of those ways that we can do that, just off the top of my head, thinking about the word connection, is being here in person on Sunday mornings, but then also if you aren't able to be with us on Sunday mornings, be connected to us virtually. Being part of a small group that meets at 9:30 is a way that you are connected to Him and connected to each other. Life groups that we are getting ready to start is another way that you can be connected. It's just another facet of how we can be connected to each other, being connected in our events, that as we go into 2022 and we look at different ways that we are doing the events that maybe we've always done, but we are looking at ways that we can be connected and we connect ourselves to the community even more. That's the idea of connection. The bottom line is this. I don't want First Baptist Siloam to be where you go to church. I want it to be your church. I don't want you to say, well, I go to. I want you to say, my church is, because that's what this is all about. This is our church. This is the church that God has called you to, the church that God has called me to, the church, sorry, I'm tripping over my words, but it's the church that God has called my family to. It's all of our church. It's not just where we go to church, it's where we're connected. It's where we find community. It's where we find life. And so when we think about church, please, in 2022, say, my church is First Baptist Siloam Springs. That's where I am connected. And I think when we change that mindset of not where you go, but where you are, who you are the church, I think it's a very life-giving way to think about the church. And so, as we head into 2022, let's think about the word connection. Let's keep the word expectation in our mind as well, as we expect what God is going to do as he makes connections, new connections. We have so many new members. We have so many new prospective people who are considering this as their church home as well in 2022, and I'm looking forward to that. Let's look at ways we can connect to each other. Look for new ways, new connections that we can make as we celebrate and as God brings us together, as God begins to like on a potter's wheel, just begins to shape and mold us, and he begins to connect us together. I'm excited about that. I'm excited for the new connections that he is going to make with me, with you, with all of us, as we see who we are in him. And so the first 10 weeks of the year are a great way to find our identity in him and find our church's identity in him, and just look at all the amazing ways that we are connected to him. I hope you have a great New Year's, and I will see you on the 1st of January. That's Saturday at 9 a.m. at the community chamber building in downtown, just across from the fire station, to open in prayer. And I've been asked to help lead that effort. And so come and pray with me, come and pray with us, and let's ring in the new year right. Let's ring it in with some prayer, praying for our community, praying for the lost, praying for just our nation, our leaders. Let's just bathe our community and our nation and world in prayer. And then on the 2nd, we will have regular programming, 9:30 Sunday school, 10:45 service, and we're kicking off the first of this sermon series, and the first sermon is called What Really Matters. And so I think that's a pretty apt title for where we're going. What matters? What matters? What really matters when we break it all down? What really matters? We'll talk about that on Sunday morning, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you about that. And then on Wednesday, this coming week, all of our regular Wednesday evening program resumes, and choir on Thursday, and so it's just we're back at it. We're getting reconnected after a couple of weeks of our schedules kind of changing. We're looking for those reconnections, but in 2022, we are talking all about connection, how you are connected to Christ, and how we are all connected together. And I will see you soon, and I am looking forward to all that God is going to do in us and through us in 2022. And it starts right here. It starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with our church. It starts for this being our church, what God wants to do in it. And I couldn't be more excited as we expect God to make huge connections for us. Have a great week, and I will see you on Sunday or Saturday. Either one, Saturday or Sunday. I'll see you then.